He who engages you conquers you. Elizabethan adaptation of Epictetus. What if I told you that the very things that stress you out, frustrate you, or keep you up at night are only as powerful as the attention you give them? Imagine if a single shift in perspective could not only make life calmer, but actually give you a hidden advantage in every challenge, every interaction, every decision you make. Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet, this is exactly what the Stoics mastered centuries ago, and why their wisdom is still blowing minds today. In this video, we're diving deep into the Stoic principle of caring less to win more. You're about to discover why detachment isn't about apathy. It's about clarity, power, and freedom. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to harness this mindset so that you stop giving away your energy to things that don't deserve it, and start winning quietly, efficiently, and consistently. So stick around till the very last second, because the most powerful lessons are often the ones revealed right at the end, and missing them could mean missing the edge that changes everything. Number 1, focusing on what you can control, not what others think. Imagine for a moment the amount of energy you spend every day worrying about what others think of you. It's exhausting, isn't it? Every glance, every comment, every imagined judgment can ripple through your mind and leave you second-guessing yourself. Now, what if I told you that all of that wasted energy could be transformed into pure power, into focus that moves you closer to your goals instead of keeping you chained to other people's opinions? This is exactly what the Stoics understood. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You can't control how someone perceives you, but you can control your actions, your responses, your thoughts. That's the sweet spot, the place where real power lives. When you start focusing only on what you can control, you begin to untangle yourself from the chaos of external validation. You stop bending and twisting yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Your mind, once scattered and fragile, starts to feel unshakable. Imagine the clarity of moving through your day knowing that the only things that truly matter are your intentions, your discipline, and your integrity. The moment you shift your attention inward, away from the unpredictable whims of others, a weight lifts. Life becomes less about performing for approval and more about performing for purpose. This doesn't mean ignoring the world or becoming indifferent to others. Far from it. It means channeling your energy where it matters. It means asking yourself every morning, what can I do today that is within my control? Maybe it's mastering a skill, sticking to your routines, or showing up fully for your commitments. Maybe it's choosing patience when someone tests your boundaries or deciding to respond with thoughtfulness rather than anger. These are your choices. These are your domain. When you act from this space, you stop being a puppet to public opinion and start being the architect of your own life. You can make this a daily habit. Start with small exercises. Each time you feel the urge to worry about someone's judgment, pause, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. It's simple, but the simplicity is powerful. Over time, your reactions become more deliberate, more intentional, and more aligned with your values rather than someone else's fleeting thoughts. Stoicism teaches that freedom isn't given, it's practiced. And focusing on what you can control is the practice that builds it. And here's the liberating part. When you stop caring so much about what others think, you start winning in ways that are invisible to the crowd but felt deeply by you. You gain confidence that doesn't need validation. You find peace that isn't tethered to applause. You become resilient because your foundation is internal, unshaken by the shifting winds of opinion. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Much of the stress and self-doubt you carry exists only in the world of imagined judgment. Release it. Anchor yourself to what you can influence. Take deliberate action every day and watch your life transform quietly but powerfully. So start now. Notice when your mind drifts to worrying about approval. Bring it back. Practice mastery over your thoughts, your habits, your actions. Focus relentlessly on what is yours to shape and let the rest dissolve like mist. This is where true Stoic strength resides, quiet, steady, and unshakable. Care less about what others think, and you will find yourself winning more than you ever imagined. Number 2, letting go of attachment to outcomes. When the Stoics tell you to care less and win more, what they're really asking is for you to step back from the grip of attachment, the relentless need to control how things turn out. Letting go of attachment to outcomes doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals, your work, or the people around you. It means you stop letting your peace of mind hinge entirely on whether the world bends to your desires. Said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That's the essence of it. Your energy, your focus, your sense of worth, they're all too precious to surrender to the whims of fate, the unpredictable motions of life. When you anchor your happiness to outcomes you can't fully control, you're setting yourself up to be tossed around by disappointment, frustration, or regret. And none of that builds strength. Instead, begin by practicing detachment in small, deliberate ways. Today, notice when you're obsessing over a result. Maybe it's a project, a conversation, or a decision you're waiting to pay off. Feel the tightness in your chest, the subtle anxiety of wanting things to turn out a certain way. Now, take a breath and remind yourself that the only thing within your true control is your effort, your attention, your choice in how you respond. You can pour your heart into what you do, but you cannot control the reaction of others, the timing of events, or the ultimate reward. Letting go doesn't mean laziness. It means mastery. It means playing the game of life with your mind as your ally, not your victim. Here's a practical exercise. Every morning, choose one task or intention for the day and commit to giving it your full focus, but consciously release the outcome. Visualize success if it comes, but then imagine it slipping away without losing your balance. Notice how lighter your mind feels. That's the subtle magic of detachment. Over time, it rewires your instincts. You become someone who acts with integrity and purpose, yet stands unshaken when the world moves differently than expected. Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Attachment to outcomes is often a creation of the mind, a story you tell yourself about what must happen. When you loosen that story, the fear, stress, and impatience tied to it begin to dissolve. You'll also notice a remarkable side effect. Your actions become sharper, more deliberate, more creative. When you stop clinging, you stop second-guessing, overthinking, or performing for validation. You act because it's right, because it aligns with your principles, not because it guarantees applause or a reward. This shift doesn't happen overnight, and it's not always comfortable. Your instincts will resist. Your mind will whisper that letting go equals giving up. But every time you step into that discomfort, you train your willpower. You become someone who moves through life with calm authority, who stands in the storm without being swept away. So start today. Pick one area of your life where you've been tightly holding on, let it breathe. Focus on the process, your effort, your presence, and release the obsession with results. Watch how much lighter and freer you feel. The Stoics knew that freedom isn't about changing the world, it's about changing yourself. Care less about what you can't control, invest deeply in what you can and win, not necessarily in the eyes of others, but in the unshakable strength you carry within. That is where true victory lives. Number 3, reducing emotional overreactions to external events. One of the most powerful lessons Stoicism teaches is the art of reducing emotional overreactions to external events. Think about it. How often do you find yourself reacting instantly to something that happens outside of your control, only to regret it later? The Stoics would tell you that this is the battlefield where true mastery is won or lost. Reminds us that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. When you begin to internalize this, you start to understand that your emotional turmoil is rarely caused by the event itself, but by the meaning you attach to it. And here's the liberating part. You have the ability to change that meaning, to pause before your reaction, and to choose a response that serves your goals instead of undermining them. Reducing emotional overreactions isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It's about creating space between stimulus and response, so you can act with clarity, precision, and integrity. Imagine a sudden setback, a harsh comment, or a frustrating delay. Your initial gut reaction may be anger, anxiety, or disappointment. That instinct is natural, but if you allow it to dictate your behavior, you give control to the external world. The Stoics teach that victory comes from flipping this script. You can acknowledge the emotion but not be enslaved by it. You can pause, breathe, and choose a measured response. In this pause lies your power. You begin to see that the world is neutral. It is your perception that colors it with drama or calm, chaos or order. You can train yourself to respond differently by practicing small daily exercises. Start with awareness. Notice when a surge of emotion rises in you. Don't judge it, label it. Say to yourself, this is anger, this is frustration. Recognition alone diminishes its grip. Then introduce a simple pause, count to 10. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself, will this reaction move me closer to the life I want or further away? Over time, this pause becomes automatic. The mind that once reacted like a storm now responds like a river, steady, flowing, and intentional. Seneca once advised, if you wish to be loved, love. Extend this principle inward. If you wish to be free, master yourself. Mastery begins with the small, deliberate acts of controlling your emotional response. Another practice is reframing. Remind yourself that external events are outside your power and that your energy is best spent on what you can control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. The more you internalize this, the less you are tossed about by circumstance. Life will throw challenges, disruptions, and annoyances your way. It's inevitable. But when you care less about the uncontrollable and more about your own behavior, your sense of calm becomes unshakable. You're no longer at the mercy of every passing irritation or disappointment. You step into life with a quiet confidence, a resilience that others envy but cannot touch because it is born from within. This practice doesn't just improve your mental state, it transforms your life. When you reduce emotional overreactions, you gain clarity in decision-making, strength in adversity, and consistency in relationships. You stop letting small irritations dictate big outcomes. You cultivate a mind that can see opportunity in challenge, stability in chaos, and freedom in discipline. Start today. Begin with awareness, pause with intention, and practice reframing daily. Each small moment of mastery compounds, shaping a life where you care less about the uncontrollable and win more in the arenas that truly matter. In the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Let that guide you, let that empower you, and let that become your daily practice. Number 4, gaining clarity and better decision-making under pressure. When you care too much about the outcome, about what others think, or about every little detail, your mind becomes a storm of noise. You feel yourself pulled in 100 directions, second-guessing every choice, hesitating, overthinking. The Stoics understood this instinctively. They knew that the path to clear, decisive action begins with learning to care less, not in the sense of becoming indifferent to life, but in the sense of freeing your mind from the grip of distractions and unnecessary worry. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The more you allow yourself to obsess over every possible consequence, the more you cloud your ability to see what truly matters. When you care less about trivialities, you strip away that fog and let clarity shine through. Suddenly, The decisions that once seemed overwhelming feel simple. You can act without hesitation because you've trained your mind to focus only on what is under your control. This isn't just theory, it's a practice. Begin by observing your thoughts in moments of stress. Notice how often you're weighing outcomes that you can't control or worrying about what others might think. Take a slow breath and ask yourself, is this something I can influence? If not, let it go. Let it fall away like leaves from a tree. Each time you release a concern that doesn't serve you, your mind grows lighter, your focus sharper. You are training yourself to operate with precision under pressure. You are building a mind that does not falter when stakes are high. When you care less about what is unnecessary, you gain space to care more about what truly matters. You can look at a problem, a challenge, or a high-pressure decision and see it as it is, not as you fear it might be. Reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You can revoke it. You can decide right now to stop giving your energy to what is irrelevant. When you do, your mind functions like a well-honed instrument. Decisions come faster, with greater accuracy. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding thoughtfully. And here's the secret. Clarity under pressure doesn't just appear, it is cultivated. You cultivate it by setting small daily rituals that reinforce your focus. Before making a decision, pause for a moment, breathe, and detach from the noise of external expectations. Journal your priorities and let them guide your actions, not fleeting emotions. Practice saying no to distractions, and notice how much more intentional your choices become. Over time, your ability to act decisively in pressure-filled situations strengthens. You become someone who doesn't panic when life throws a curveball. You become someone who wins not by force, not by luck, but by the calm authority of a mind unclouded by unnecessary cares. This is the power of caring less. It's not about apathy, it's about mastery. Mastery over your own mind, mastery over your reactions, mastery over the chaos around you. When you embrace this principle, you unlock a kind of clarity that allows you to see the paths others miss, to make decisions others struggle with, and to act with confidence when it matters most. You are no longer swept away by circumstance. You move deliberately, purposefully, and with a quiet but unstoppable force. This is Stoicism in action, a life of reason, focus, and above all, unshakable clarity. Number 5, attracting respect and influence through calm confidence. When you start caring less about the approval of others, something extraordinary begins to happen. You notice it in the way people respond to you, in the subtle shifts in energy around you. Stoicism teaches us that true respect and influence don't come from loud declarations or desperate attempts to be seen. They come from calm, unwavering confidence. When you stand firm in your own principles and remain unshaken by external chaos, you project a presence that draws others in. Reminded us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. It's not about confrontation or proving yourself. It's about embodying serenity while the world rushes to chaos. And people notice that. They notice someone who doesn't react impulsively, someone who listens more than they speak, someone who doesn't seek validation because they already hold it within themselves. Think about your own life. How often do you give away your power by reacting to every slight, by craving recognition for your efforts, or by letting others dictate your mood? This is where calm confidence becomes your most potent tool. It's quiet, yet unmistakable. It's subtle, yet magnetic. The more you practice controlling your inner state, the more people naturally gravitate toward you, not because you demand it, but because you exude a sense of reliability, strength, and composure that is rare in a world full of noise and uncertainty. Seneca said, "He is most powerful who has himself in his own power." That's the essence of influence. When you master yourself, your presence alone inspires respect. Now you might wonder, how do you cultivate this calm confidence? It begins with small daily exercises. Start by observing your reactions. The next time someone challenges you or criticizes you, pause, breathe. Notice the urge to defend, to react, to demand acknowledgement. Then let it go. Do not act on impulse. Instead, respond with measured clarity or sometimes with silence. Over time, this becomes second nature. You're training your mind to value your own peace over external noise. And this is magnetic to others because people instinctively trust someone who is steady, someone who doesn't crumble under pressure. Another practical exercise is reflection. At the end of each day, spend a few minutes examining where you gave your power away and where you held it. Write it down. Recognize the moments when you acted with restraint and composure and celebrate them. This creates a feedback loop. Your mind begins to associate calm self-mastery with strength, and gradually it becomes a part of your character rather than a conscious effort. And remember, this isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending you're unaffected. It's about choosing which battles deserve your energy and which do not. Knew this when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." As you integrate this practice into your daily life, you'll notice the way people respond to you shift. They listen more closely. They trust your judgment. They respect your boundaries. Influence flows naturally because you're not pushing for it, not chasing it. Instead, it's drawn to you like gravity to mass. And here, the liberating truth. The less you seek approval, the more you command it. When your foundation is rooted in your own values and your own serenity, your presence itself becomes a statement. It's quiet but powerful. People are drawn to it. Influence isn't loud, it's felt, not forced. So start today. Practice restraint. Choose calm over reaction. Reflect on your victories of composure. And watch as respect and influence begin to grow, not because you demanded them, but because you became the kind of person others instinctively admire. You care less, and in doing so, you win more. So remember, the next time you feel the urge to stress over what others think or chase approval, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this within my control? The Stoics teach us that the less we cling to outcomes and the more we focus on our own actions and mindset, the freer and stronger we become. Care less about the noise around you and watch how life unfolds in your favor. If this video sparked something in you, don't just stop here. Apply it today. Challenge yourself to let go of one unnecessary worry, one opinion you don't need, and notice the change. And if you want more practical wisdom to level up your mindset and your life, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Remember, mastery over yourself is the ultimate win. Thanks for watching, and keep living like a Stoic, calm, focused, and unstoppable.